Whew. I tell you, even working with IT, it's still always gonna be some shit. How y'all doing? Sorry, sorry for the mix-up. Sorry for the late. Sorry for the whole situation. Couldn't hear me. I know. Can you hear me now? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me now. We should be good. Checking everything. We should be good. Good to go on all ends. Definitely apologize about that. How we doing, guys? We're doing pretty good. I appreciate y'all patience. So welcome to Smoke Drink Vibe. I'm your host, Jay Hughes, Coach Jay Hughes, Coach Hughes, however you want to call it. I want to give a special shout out to a couple of people today. One person actually has a birthday today. His name is AJ. I ain't gonna call his government name because I like keeping on my teeth. But shout out to AJ. Happy birthday, buddy. I know you're gonna be in the building soon. Hopefully he should be on the set. He's running on color people time. So it's all right. He's gonna be here. And definitely another special shout out to my family in Huntsville, Alabama. What up, DV? How you doing, TT? DV and TT, I know is watching. I know Grandma probably watching too, but we'll see how it goes. Hey, Granny, how you doing? Your twin, love you, miss you. I miss you guys. Hope you guys are having a good day and hope you guys had a good week. DV is among many people who is one of my favorite cousins on my dad's side. Been through a lot, still stood tall as a young black woman, doing her thing. Smile, always kept smiling. So want to give a special shout out to DV and her mom. Good stuff. How y'all doing? Did y'all have a good week? I hope y'all had a good week. We're going to get into it. I got a sponsor today. I think my thing went out. Yeah, it went out. Damn it. I got a sponsor today. And that sponsor is somebody who y'all should know very well. And if y'all don't know very well, y'all going to get to know him. Okay? Y'all going to get to know him. And that sponsor is me. I'm sponsoring my own shit. That's how it goes. Y'all can come visit me at empowerhimlifecoaching.com. Get a free 20-minute session. I am a certified life coach here to help young black men and women of all ages navigate through their journeys of life. So definitely come visit me, www.empowerhimlifecoaching.com. Come get you a free 20-minute session, and we'll see if we can help you navigate some things, okay? Help you navigate some things. Okay, so listen. I just thought about this, and I want to apologize, but I got to stay true to one form, some shape, form, or the other. Today, we're talking about health. Not only health, we're talking about men's health. As I cut my cigar again. I do apologize. I'm going to put that down for right now. I'm going to drink. But we're talking about men's health. And we have to talk about black men's health because black men's health is important. And while I am enjoying a nice cigar with some good old cheap alcohol, I do take my health very seriously. Shout out to Miss April Autumn Sparks. That's my wife. Definitely keep me on my toes. Also my co-host when we have our show on Sundays. All right. But today we're talking about men's health. All right. Especially black men's health. There is a discontent or a disconnect between our health as black men and how we take care of ourselves. It's a disconnect because there's this stigmatism about health for black men. And we're going to talk about some of those stigmatisms and those disconnects. Okay. Now, I did some research. I like to do research, like to look up some things. And right now, I want to ask my audience, okay? And you guys can call in. You guys see the number at the bottom, okay? Y'all can call in. I want to ask my audience, okay? In your opinion, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to black men's health, what do you think is the number one issue that we face? Is it getting to the doctor? Is it taking the meds? Is it listening to the doctor? Okay. What do you think is the overall issue that we have as black men, or when it comes to black men and their health? Okay. I think it's a stigmatism, which is what I talked about and what the title of the show is, breaking stigmatisms, right? We want to break stigmatisms, or I want to start the conversation of breaking stigmatism of Black men and their health, right? Because health is wealth. And if that was the case, a lot of us Black men are walking around here broke than a motherfucker, okay? And that's just real. We broke, okay? But health is wealth. And I think with some good, healthy conversation and some good dialogue and some facts that most people didn't know, I think that we could bridge the gap between Black men and health, right? So I want to start the conversation about health today, Black men's health in particular, right? Men in general, okay? I think white men go to the doctor more than Black men. Okay, I didn't look up that statistic, but something tells me that if I did, I'd get the same result, right? I get the same answer. But when it comes to Black men, we don't go to the doctor. You know, we have these home remedies that we do, that we use. We have these things that we try, right? We try to self-medicate, right? We try other things that we ask other people for information, and those people happen to be other Black men who don't really know because they've never gone to the doctor themselves. I'll put it to you like this. How many people you know, ladies or men, everybody in the audience, how many people you know that have known somebody that should have went to the doctor but didn't go as a man, right? Was it pride? Was it, was it ego? What was it that you believe kept them from the doctor? Right? You're looking at them, you know there's something wrong. They need to go to the doctor and they don't go, especially Black men, right? Now, what I've looked up, I just want to read some things about some of the stigmatisms that we face and some of the disparities that we face as Black men within our community as to why there's a disconnect between us and the doctor. Okay. And I want to throw one in there that's not in here, but I think it says the same thing. I think they're saying that, but I'm going to say it more directly. First of all, there are not a lot of Black doctors. Okay. There are not a lot of Black doctors. The number of Black doctors compared to Asian doctors and other ethnic groups, minorities, or whatever you want to call it, it's not a lot of Black doctors. Now, here's the trip. There's a lot of Black female doctors, right? But there's not a lot of Black male doctors, right? And I think if we identify and kind of socialize and relate to a Black male doctor, then we as Black men would be more likely to go to the doctor, right? That's just a theory. That's just one of the reasons why I think. But here he goes. According to Central State Healthcare System, okay, and this was published in 2022, it says several health disparities exist between African Americans and white Americans. Doctors are seeing diseases that you'd expect to see in older patients, heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and relatively young African Americans. I just want to pause right there for a minute. What they're saying right here is that the diseases that you would normally see in older patients, men of any ethnic group, you're starting to see it in younger patients among African American males. That says a lot. Okay. While genetics play a part in certain instances, social economic factors have a significant impact on how African Americans are able to prevent and treat certain conditions. So they're saying what we've been socialized, right? Our environment, what we've been taught, stigmatism, right, is one of the reasons why we have issues as Black men when it comes to dealing with our health. Let me log on to this right quick. And I want to know why that is. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that there is a social economic impact? And we're not talking about just genetics, right? Because genetics, basically, because of what we've been eating all this time, knocks us out. Then you got socioeconomic factors that participate in the reasons why more Black men, or African American men, as they want to say, have these different diseases that you would expect in older people. Okay. So what plays a factor? I want my people to comment and let me know what you think. Okay. Now I'm gonna read on because I want to get into it, and because this first question is very important that I want to bring up. Right. And it says the data tells us that the issue isn't that more African Americans have heart disease, and they're focusing on heart disease in this instant, but that this group's chances of surviving a cardiovascular event aren't as high as in other populations. So that means because of heart disease in African American men, that African American men are less likely to survive a cardiovascular event, meaning if something goes wrong with your heart, you're less likely to survive than maybe your white counterpart or maybe your Asian counterpart, right? So you're less likely to survive. That says something. And it goes on to say, in fact, African Americans ages between 18 to 49 are 2 times more likely to die of heart disease than other Americans. I had to pause with that because that's pressing. We're 2 times more likely to die between the ages of 18 and 49. If you make it past 49, doesn't mean you're out the woods as a Black man. It just means that maybe you're less likely to die of heart disease if you didn't die between the ages of 18 and 49 because you're 2 times as more likely, right? So there's things in here like lifestyle, socioeconomic reasons. They talk about high blood pressure, which a lot of us have to take high blood pressure pills, right? We need to get that blood pressure under control. When they talk about blood pressure, they talk about one of the risk factors of heart disease is high blood pressure, also known as hypertension. This condition is particularly troublesome for African Americans. In fact, 1 in 3 African Americans suffer from high blood pressure. And it says high blood pressure is difficult to manage without adequate access to care. So 1 in 3, let's get this straight. 1 in 3 suffers or will suffer or is likely to have high blood pressure. Then because of socioeconomic status, they're less likely to get adequate care to deal with it, right? Which also leads to heart disease. And remember, the numbers is between the ages 18 and 49, 2 times more likely to die from heart disease. Then on top of that, if we're focusing on hypertension, 1 in 3, right? 1 in 3. All right. Let's talk about cancer because they talk about cancer in here. It says, while cancer is the number 2 killer for all races, African American men are 50% more likely than white men to get lung cancer, and more African American men experience such issues as enlarged prostate or prostate cancer. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. Cancer kills everybody. That's what they're saying. Okay. It's the number 2 killer of all races. However, 50% more likely than white men, African American men get lung cancer. But I want to focus on something that's really challenging Black men, which is prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is devastating. Okay. And there used to be an age where you had to get your prostate checked. I think it was in their 40s or something. Y'all help me out in the comments, right? For Black men, when was the age to start to get your prostate checked? But to get your prostate checked, there is a procedure that you have to have. And that procedure for a lot of Black men is something that challenges your masculinity. Okay. How many people know what a prostate is? All right, let's talk about it. My friend over there says 50 is the age. Right. 50 is the age. Thank you. I appreciate that. But how many people know where a man's prostate is? How many people know how to get to it? Ladies? We know some ladies in here. How many people know where that is? Let me know in the chat. Well, for those who don't know, a man's prostate, the way you get to it is through his rectum. That's right, folks, through his anus. Okay. And the exam involves a man who has to get his prostate checked. They have to check it. The initial exam is through the anus. Now, we got to have these conversations now. I know it's a little bit difficult. Okay. And I'm not making light of it. Normally I make, a joke here and there, but because men, when we face this kind of exam, because of it's going through the anus, a lot of us are very thrown off, and that's where they're like, nope, not doing it. Not doing it. They got to stick 2 fingers in where? I'm all right. Right? Because it challenges your masculinity. I'm sorry, that's just how God made us. Okay? However, it's a quick exam. I've had the exam. I've had it in my mid-30s. Yeah, because of genetics. I had the exam. I'd have it again. I will have it again next month, actually. Right? So let's see. My helper says, what did they say? According to the American Cancer Society, men should have their first prostate exam by the age of 50. If you have a family history of prostate cancer, you should consider it your first exam at the age of 45. Yeah, I didn't wait till 45. I did mine. I know it was here in Houston. I did mine when I was like early 30s. I was like, check everything, whatever, And I should know better because, my mom was a doctor, family practice. And she taught us about these things. I had the privilege of having, both parents in the home. One was a doctor, one was in the military. And my mom taught us about these different things. Now, as a young guy, I was like, I'm not letting nobody stick their finger in my butt. I'm just not doing it. However, as I got older and I realized the significance of that exam, I had to swallow my pride. Okay? Because a lot of people don't know that the prostate for men is the key to a lot of different issues that they have within their bodies. And one of the issues of high blood pressure affects the prostate. Cancer affects the prostate, right? There's a lot of different things that affect the prostate. And the prostate is where kind of life helps start for men as far as the creation of life. And I'm not going to go through all that, but anyway. But the prostate is very, very important. So definitely Black men, we're going to talk about how we can help you get your prostate checked. Okay. Just going on, it says American males die from cancer more than any other ethnic group. African American women under the age of 35 see breast cancer rates that are 2 times higher than Caucasian women of the same age and have a 42% higher rate of death from the same disease. That's what it says. Let me read that again. African American women under the age of 35 see breast cancer rates that are 2 times higher than Caucasian women at the same age and have a 42% higher rate of death from the disease. I know we're talking about men, but I had to put that in there because that's equally important. Okay. And if you're past that age range, right, of 35, you're not out of the woods. Okay. It's still some stuff that's in the woods. So I'm going to pause for a minute and I want to bring in my first question. Okay. My first question is, what is the reason for the disconnect between Black men and their health? Let's see in the comments section. What's the reason? I think some of us don't want to know. I'm going to just put it to you plainly. Some of us don't want to know what's going on with us, right? Some of us don't want to know. Some of us, let's be honest, have a fear of the doctor. They have a fear of the doctor. It could be the office. It could be horror stories. It could be nightmares, whatever. They have a strong, healthy fear of the doctor's office. It's not even the doctor. It's not even that they may not want to know the information of what's wrong with them. It's literally the fact that they have a healthy fear of the doctor and the office, right? Ladies, what do y'all think it is? Let me know in the comment section, what do y'all think it is? The reason why there's a disconnect between Black men and their health. Again, I said the doctor, having a healthy fear of the doctor. I also said they're scared to know the information, right? If I had to take an educated guess, I would say a lot of men or some men know what's wrong with them verbatim. Like they know exactly what's wrong, but they don't want to say it because another thing is they think nobody cares. Okay. They think nobody cares about their health. As men, we go through life knowing that in society, in American society, that nobody cares how you feel. Nobody cares what's wrong with you. Nobody cares about your aches, your pains. Shut up, tuck it in, suck it up, buttercup, and keep going. That's what we men are taught. We're socialized to believe that, right? We're socialized to believe that as a man, especially a Black man, you lose your masculinity and the perception of your strength as soon as you go to the doctor. Because if they find something wrong with you and then you have to sit down, that means you can't work. You can't work, you can't provide, right? If you can't provide, what kind of man are you? Kick you to the curb, whatever the case may be. Men have that fear. Men have that fear as to why we don't go to the doctor, right? So we're socialized, right? We're socialized as men, and we know it. That's why he's resistant to you taking them pills, because he saw somebody that got messed up over those pills. And he's like, I ain't taking no pills, right? Knowing that they help sometimes, most of the time, we don't know. We can get into alternative medicine on the next time. But another thing is he really doesn't want to be seen as weak. He doesn't want to go to the doctor. He'll lie and tell you, I'll go to the doctor, go by himself, and really don't go because you're not there to check him, right? To check and see if he went. There's a lot of disconnect about men, Black men, and their health. And some of these reasons, like heart disease, cancer, colon cancer, diabetes, stroke, right? Plus socioeconomic factors that we haven't even got into, along with genetics, is the reason why Black men are scared to go to the doctor. That's the disconnect, right? Some of us don't know the information. I'm not even going to say that they do know. Some of us don't know the information. Renata says, that's good. I agree. I think maybe the way they were raised that they don't have time to. They don't have time, but they do. What's that saying? We make time for what we want to make time for. See, if we made time to go to the doctor as a Black man, especially an older thinking Black man, 2 generations or a generation back removed, we're thinking, nah, we don't want to go to the doctor because as soon as we go, they're going to find something wrong. They're going to want to pick and probe. And I secretly hate needles. You got this tough guy and you get him in a doctor's chair and he crying like a baby because they about to poke him with a needle, a butterfly needle. Other people don't go because they're scared of the information that they'll find out. They know they've been drinking hard and doing all this stuff. They know they've been running their body ragged. They know they're not getting a lot of sleep. A person knows their body because God made us to where your body talks to you directly. So but you don't want to find out. I would equate it to a woman who wants to go through a man's phone, but really don't want to find out what she may find. That's how Black men view the doctor. Some Black men view the doctor, right? Some Black men view the doctor as in, it's just a shot at my masculinity, right? They've heard their other friends who went to the doctor and told them all these funny stories or these scary stories about prostate exams and stuff like that. Oh, we got a caller. Let me see who this is. Let me see who this is. Hey, caller.
Hey man, what's going on?
Oh man, this is Chief Hughes, guys.
Oh yeah, I had to call in, man. Your show is too hot, too awesome. I had to call in and get a part of this, man. To making history with you.
Okay, so lay it on me. What do you think the disconnect between black men and their health is, and going to the doctor? What do you think that is?
It's perception. It's perception, right?
Right.
You know, if you go into the doctor that you need help, you need aid, it's a crutch of some sort. No one wants to perceive that they're weak and need help and assistance.
Right.
You know, it's a perception. It's perception, right? You know, you don't want to be that basketball player with the knee brace if you can help it. You don't want to be that basketball player with an elbow brace or something like that. You want to be that football player with leg braces unless you may be in the trenches banging it up on the line. But it's health, you know, it's perception. You look strong if you don't have any aids. You look strong if you look like the guys are on the cover of Men's Health.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so it's perception. And it's not just perception of the world, it's perception of oneself.
Right.
We feel strong and we think we look strong, but when we look in the mirror, we don't see strong.
Mm. Mm.
So it's perception.
Where do you think we get that
and it
perception
takes time.
from? Where do you think we get that? Because it's word association, right? We're associating strength, the word strength, with what we've seen, and then we associate weakness or the perception of weakness with doing stuff like taking a colorectal exam, right? So where do you think we got that from, in your opinion?
Well, it's you know, so you know the colorectal exam, that thing, man.
Yeah.
let me just be transparent, man. That thing is and it makes heterosexual males feel some kind of way, right?
Yeah.
It makes them feel some kind of way. Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, hold on.
Right.
Hey, how big is this finger?
Right. How big is this finger? You sure you got 2 fingers in there? Yeah.
What you mean you want to put 40 foot of pipe up in you and take a look, you know?
Yeah.
So, and they want you to be awake for it if you remember them 40 foot of pipe in there.
Right. Are you going to call me tomorrow at least or something, you know?
Yeah. So, you know, if you go to sleep, you don't remember it, but it's a necessary thing. But I go, you talking about what's the disconnect there or what's going on? It's the culture thing, man. It's the black culture. But it's not just our culture, but it's a lot of male cultures. The machismo, I think that's how I refer to it in the Spanish-speaking cultures.
Right.
They may refer to it as honor in the Asian cultures. They may refer to it as something else in the Indian cultures. But it's the perception of strength and independence and a man being a man, if you will.
Yeah.
However, you know, with all the things that are attacking men and women these days, your food is killing you. The air is killing you.
Right.
The water is killing you.
Right.
You know,
right.
you really got to go and really, what's the old adage is, your health is your wealth.
Health is wealth.
So you got to really go to the doctor and get seen. You got to work out. You got to be mindful of the things you put in your body to get the most out of your body.
Right.
And even if you do all that right there, there's still an opportunity, still a chance that something may go wrong.
Right.
And there's the thing is, man, we don't want to miss out. And this younger generation is on this YOLO. We only live once, right?
Yeah.
You know, so you know, they just throw caution to the wall and experience everything, do it all at once. And some of them are right. Some of them are self-fulfilling prophecies. They only live once and they live a short life.
Yeah.
All my famous rappers are gone. You know, Tupac didn't make it to 65.
Right.
Biggie Smalls didn't make it to 65. You know.
Right. But we still got Big Daddy
Heavy D
Kane,
didn't make it there. Heavy D didn't make it.
No, he didn't make it. He didn't make it.
He didn't make it. So, but you see how Dre changed his habits, man. Dre yoked up, man. He's worked out. He's all hanging on in there, you know.
Yeah, and I think Rick Ross said he no longer is in the beef; he's in the bison.
Yeah. What is the other cat? Footload Squad. What's the cat name? gosh, he was skinny back when he was with leaders of the new school. Now you see him, that dude's so big and yoked up. I can't think of his name. You know what I'm talking about, Buster Rhymes.
Oh, Buster
That
Bus
boy so
and Split
swole.
Mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Buster Rhymes so big, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, but you know, these guys have seen to their health. Even 50 Cent, he got shot, but I don't know how big he was beforehand, but his road to recovery has seen him and his health, you know, put it in the forefront.
Right.
You know, put that in the forefront.
Kat says, we haven't normalized men's health and the importance of their well-being as a priority to ensuring their quality of life. We have to honor their well-being and not just for the sake of providing. What do you think about that statement?
I think it speaks to a certain mindset and a level of education and understanding in men.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can talk over men's head when you use certain terms and words, right?
Right.
And I think a learned man may respond differently to that statement than the common man, or maybe a fellow from around the way on the street.
Right.
I don't know the fellow on the street receives that in the same manner. You know?
Right. I get
I don't think it means the same to him that it might mean to, you know, business Harvard, Wall Street fellow, you know.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
And that's what I found, man. As far as health and wealth and whatnot, again, I believe, and it's been my experience amongst the men and men in my family and the ones I've looked to, uncles and whatnot, that, you know, health and wealth is something, you know, you did on the front side, and then when you got on the back side, you did whatever you wanted to.
Right.
When you're young, running around, you worked out before you went out, you know. You did your work, and then you worked out some so you could look nice for the ladies. You took a shower, jumped clean, you went out and had a good time. And when you got old, you didn't really care anymore because you settled down, you're married, and it's just kind of whatever.
Right.
Just kind of whatever, right? So, but again, we didn't have those type of diseases that we have that are attacking the human body these days.
Yeah.
You know, men were promiscuous, but not on the level that they are today.
Right. I get you.
You know, so we ate more home cooked meals than we ate processed food.
Right, exactly.
We ate more greens than we do now. You know,
right.
you'd be hard pressed to find some vegetables in a meal in a week. You know, be hard pressed for that to be a commonplace instead of an acceptance.
Okay.
So when you say that statement to me, and I hear it, and other men of my age hear it, it means different depending on where we are socially and economically.
I get it.
You know, where the economics is at, it means different things to us. What do you think your viewers would think of that type of statement? Your viewers seem to go across a lot of different social and economic levels, don't they?
Yeah, I think that statement that Kat made really is significant. It's to me, it's a woman recognizing that, you know, men are just not providers; they're actual people, right? And so the way it's been normalized in our society is you're a man, work till you die, provide, use you up, thank you, good night. You know what I mean? We're barely supposed to have fun when we're married. That's the perception, right? And so
what they say, happy life, happy wife. I don't co-sign on that.
Right.
I definitely don't co-sign on that.
Right. Happy they're trying to switch the narrative now to happy spouse, happy house. However, I think that what that statement that Kat made was basically saying we need to denormalize or normalize a different type of behavior when it comes to men's health from a woman's perspective, and how men are viewed as just workhorses that provide and supposed to protect and everything else, but, you know, not taking into accountability the health of that said person and that they're people from the get-go. So it's a good statement.
So let me. It is a solid statement, but let me put it to you in this way, or to your listeners in this format. Without men raising men's children or children to become men, and you have a majority of women doing it, that's always going to be lost.
Yeah.
Because there's no male in the home to speak to a male child on how to be and how to prioritize that, and that health is important.
Right.
There are not children. There are too many young children not being raised by men to learn to wash themselves from the head down instead of from the feet up.
Right. Exactly.
So that's part of men's health on how to properly clean and groom yourself. And you got men that wash from the feet going up, and that's not the order of cleaning oneself. Once you clean from the head going down,
right?
Yeah,
exactly.
And there's a reason for that. But you can't. Women can relate, but they can't relate because no matter how much mom loves you, she'll never be a boy, and she won't have ever had boy experiences.
Right. And again, I'm pretty sure that the reason that is because we can go down that rabbit hole, but we'll stick on topic. But I believe the reason that is because they feel like women feel like men when it comes to that situation of rearing their child. They feel like, in my opinion, they feel like men when it comes to men going to the doctor, right? They have this perception of, I know what I'm doing. This child came out of me. I could teach him how to be a man. When in actuality, you're teaching him how to replace the man that you don't have in your home. And you're effectively putting him there as the man, i.e. making him grow up quicker instead of treating him as a son. And so, like you said, if nobody's there to teach you how to wash simple stuff, tie a tie, change a tire, stuff like that, you lose that growing up in that situation. But those are good points. I really appreciate that.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I wanted to call in because, hey, the show been going strong. I've been spreading the word out there, and I'm really proud of you, and I'm really happy for both you and sister-in-law there. And so, man, look, you keep on doing what you're doing, keep being awesome, and don't worry. This ain't my last time calling, man. I'm gonna call in again, man. I hope your viewers enjoy the content, man.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have you back because football season coming up. We gotta talk about those Bengals.
Oh, you know it. Who they?
Right. All right, thanks for calling.
And don't forget Roll Tide, baby. Don't forget Roll Tide.
Yeah, Roll Tide, Alabama.
That's right.
Tide.
That's right.
I do agree with that.
All right, dude, man.
Right, we'll
talk to you again soon. Enjoy the rest of the show. Bye.
All right, later. So good feedback. Good feedback. All right. Good feedback. He made a valid point. There's not a lot of black men in the home or around to teach other young black men how to become black men, or young black boys how to become black men. Right. Which brings me to a good segue. Thanks, Chief Hughes. Which brings me to my point of the next thing I want to talk about, which is not only physical health, but black men and the disconnect in their mental health. Right. Now, according to the University of Columbia Department of Psychiatry, roughly 37 million people identify themselves as Black or African American in the United States. However, research suggests that the adult Black community is 20% more likely to experience serious mental health problems, such as major depressive disorder or generalized anxiety disorder. In addition, Black people, emerging adults between the ages of 18 and 25, also experience higher rates of mental health problems and lower rates of mental health services utilizations compared to white adults. Do y'all understand that part? What they're saying is Black people go through a lot of different things when it comes to mental health. And they're 20% more likely, male or female, to experience serious mental health problems. Right? And between the ages of 18 and 25, higher rates of mental health problems, but lower rates of how to deal with it, utilization of services, right? So what does that mean? That means that in the Black community, we're 20 times more likely than any other community to experience mental health issues. It also means that because of the community that we're in and our surroundings, there's not a lot of services presented to us to help us deal with said mental health issues. It goes on to say, despite the efforts, true social justice among the Black community will remain incomplete until mental health disparities among this group is addressed. Mental health is an essential part of an overall physical health and satisfaction. So until we address the social economic issues within our own communities, we're going to continue to deal with mental health issues at a slowly growing rate, because right now it's at 20%, right? But the more it grows up does not mean the more services are available for these mental health issues. All right. That's why you have people in the streets doing stuff, saying stuff, acting real sporadic or whatever the case may be, very depressed at school and going through stuff in their own right, but they don't have an outlet. They don't have a place to, release and deal and cope and navigate through these certain things, right? I'm going to keep reading. Again, University of Columbia Psychiatric Department, okay? I'm going to keep reading. The increased psychological difficulties in the Black community is related to the lack of access to appropriate and culturally responsive mental health care. So it can't just be health care. It has to be culturally responsive, meaning they're telling you that they're seeing disparities among Black patients who actually get a chance to get health care, that because the people that they see, the doctors and stuff like that, nurses, pediatrics, whatever, because they're not culturally represented in those areas, like I said, there's not a lot of Black doctors, not a lot of Black men doctors at that. Because we don't see that, it creates a gap, right? There are some people, what it says, that are Black that are not going to go to the doctor simply because they don't see themselves at the doctor, right? That's what this says. Let me keep reading because there's something in here that I want to touch on. Very important, right? And this is going to bring me to my next question. The Black community exists at the intersection of racism, classism, and health inequality. Their mental health needs are often exacerbated, the most unfulfilled. Issues related to economic insecurity and associated with experience such as violence and criminal justice further serve to compound the mental health disparities have in the Black population. So what does that say? What it says is that because Black people as a community, as a people, as an ethnic group are at the crossroads of racism, classism, and health inequality, our mental health is oftentimes exacerbated and underserved, okay? And because of things like the criminal justice system, violence, social economic awareness, right? Where you live, location, what you go through in the Black community, in the ghettos, in the hood, that often compounds and it further destroys the mental disparities within the Black population. Okay? Because it says a lot of Black men may be hesitant to seek help due to their fear of being misunderstood and not taken seriously by their healthcare providers. Exactly. And the reason they don't want to go is because there is a strong and factual presence of disparities within the healthcare system, i.e., discrimination against Black patients. So Black women have experienced this as well. I think there was a study that said that some of the Black women, as to the reason why they don't want to have babies, is not because of the men, it's because they don't trust their doctor to deliver the babies without them losing their lives. Because a lot of Black mothers are losing their lives at a substantially alarming rate in today's time within the past 2 decades, right? Because their pain is underserved, meaning, simply put, they think in the practice that Black people have higher pain tolerance than anybody else. So when you go to the doctor as a Black man or a Black woman and you tell them you're in pain, they're looking at you like, nigga, please. And it's funny that they think you're tougher in this situation, but when it comes to other things that happen socially to you, you're not tough enough to deal with it. You're tough as nails, but you're not smart enough to be tough. You're not smart. You're tough as nails, but that's why we shot you 13 times when we thought you had a gun, right? The disparities, just like she said, a lot of Black men are hesitant to seek help. They fear the same thing that Black women fear. These Black women are telling their Black men, they're trying to kill us in the hospital. I want to have your baby. I'm not scared of you. I'm scared of the hospital. And Black men are like, me too. Right? This is what I wanted to touch on, though. And let me bring this to this other question. Let me put this other question up here before I touch on this. The question is getting help for your health issues a sign of weakness for the Black man? And I know Cuz just touched on that, but that's okay. We're going to still pose that question. But here's what I want to do. I want to talk about this part right here. Suicide is the third leading cause of death for Black or African American men between the ages of 15 and 24. This was published 2 years ago. They're saying suicide is the third leading cause of death. Cancer is number 2. We've already discovered that for men across the board. So Black men have cancer at number 2, and then suicide at number 3. So if I don't die from cancer, it's likely that you'll kill yourself. The mental health crisis is particularly evident in the case of Black men. In 2018, the suicide rate for Black men in America was 4 times greater than African women. 4 times greater. Black boys, Black men between the ages of 15 and 24, and I would even argue all the way up to the ages of 40, are killing themselves 2 times or 4 times faster or more than our Black women. So it poses the question, all this mental back and forth that we're going on between each other, Black women saying this, Black men should be unalive. If you have a Black baby boy, you should kill him. There are women out there on podcasts like these talking just like that are Black. While the statistic says, and I'm going to read it again, in 2018, as of 2018, the suicide rate for Black men was 4 times greater than it was for Black women. These Black men are killing themselves. You wonder where all the Black good men went? That's where they went. It was either that or cancer. Oh, we're gonna let that sink in today, because this is the kind of conversation that we need to have within our community. Black men are killing themselves 4 times greater. Let me let this other one sink in for you, because this one's going to really blow your mind. Black Americans are often either overdiagnosed with severe mental illness, such as schizophrenia, or they're underdiagnosed for mood-related disorders like depression and anxiety. Let me, y'all don't understand. Black people are overdiagnosed. You know how back in the day, it used to be like, oh, I just got ADD. He just got ADD. No, he ain't have ADD. He was hyperactive. She was hyperactive. She ain't have no ADD. He ain't have no ADD. But because you said that and you didn't do your research, they took you right on in, got your money, and pushed some pills to you. Now he's sitting there looking at you like he playing Tetris in his mind, but he ain't blinking. We are overdiagnosed in our community. They're trying to say we're crazy with schizophrenia. They're quick to give us that label. He's schizophrenic. but they underdiagnose us for mood-related disorders like depression and anxiety, which we face more than schizophrenia. So what this tells me is they're quick to call you crazy, but then when they say you're depressed, they say, oh, you're crazy. You're not depressed. You're crazy, remember? You're not depressed. I have anxiety. Nah, you ain't got no anxiety. You just crazy. Overdiagnosed, underdiagnosed. So they're quick to tell us that as Black people, as Black men, we're crazy, but not so quick to tell us that we are depressed and that we're crazy for thinking that we are. So getting mental help or getting help for your health issues, is that a sign of weakness for the Black man? Is that a sign of weakness for the Black man? Carmela says, to them it is, yes. Yes, it is a sign of weakness. Carmela, why do you think it's a sign of weakness to the Black man? Why do you think? I just want to get your idea of why you think that is. Cass says, it's greater because Black youth are struggling to navigate in a world that has not made it safe for them to be out here or to be here without the navigate connotations already projected on them. Yeah, the negative connotations. They need positivity. They do need positivity. We've been needing positivity since crack came and rocked us in the 90s and the 80s, right? We've been needed positivity, right? Kat also says overdiagnosed and underserved. That's correct. That's correct. So why everybody want to be rappers and ballers and make it to the NFL, that's because we need more doctors. We need more lawyers. We need more CNAs, CMAs. We need more nurses. Do you know that as a Black man, they pay you more to be a male nurse than a Black woman who's a nurse? And y'all went to the same school? They've been doing this for 2 decades now because nursing is a woman-dominated field. So as a Black man, you're like a fucking unicorn. And they're going to pay you for it. All right? Cuz says, back in the day, grandma got us. We didn't need any medicine. Them home remedies only work for so long. But you're right. Grandma did have us. But we still needed home remedies and medicine. She just put some stuff together. But I want to bring attention to the question. Is it a sign of weakness? Well, let's answer that. Yes. Yes. Let's be honest. Right now, for Black men, going to the doctor is a sign of weakness. That's how we view it. It's a stigmatism. We don't need that stigmatism, but that's the stigmatism, right? Because parents have told me as children that if they cry, they are weak. Yeah. Carmela, your parents were lying. All due respect, your parents were lying. They were socialized. They gave you wrong information. And that's what my wife and I like to talk about. Legacy. Who taught you that? Obviously, your parents. Do you think that men are weak when they cry? I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's what we're taught. And we as boys are taught that too. Don't cry. Tuck it in. Suck it up, buttercup. Be strong. Well, there's strength and vulnerability. There's strength and vulnerability. There's strength in asking for help, Black man. Going to the doctor doesn't make you weak. Knowing that you need to go to the doctor and you don't go makes you weak. Knowing that there's something wrong with your body and you don't talk to anybody makes you weak. Knowing that you have anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, knowing that you have or possibly could be any one of those categories and you don't go seek professional help makes you weak. Denying what you're going through mentally, physically, emotionally on the health perspective and not doing anything about it makes you weak. Yeah. Marcus says men are not weak when they cry. That's right. Carmela says is very unfair to men. It is unfair to black men. It's unfair that we have to sit here and, for the most part, be socialized on both sides of the coin, from the black man and the black woman, to say we can't be in tune with our emotions. If we're emotional about something, we need to suck it up. We don't need to go to the doctor. If we go to the doctor, we look weak. Everywhere we turn as a black man, that helps the black woman in some cases, and that the black woman utilizes, like therapy, like going to the doctor when something's wrong. For the woman, it's okay. But for the black man, it makes them look weak. There are women like Carmela who've been told by their parents or by their friends, if a man cry, he's weak. You have had some men, my wife can attest to this. We've had some men that have been in our practice and dealt with women, and the woman was saying, nigga, is you crying? To the person that they're supposed to be with, to the person that they're supposed to love, to the person that they're supposed to care about. They're asking these questions. They're in touch with their feelings when they cry. Instead of burning their true feelings for a year, or bearing their true feelings for a year, can make them depressed. Yeah, depression is real. We're killing ourselves 4 times more than black women because we don't go get help, because it's been stigmatized by our parents, our other black men who haven't got help, and then our black women. As black men, we're told from all sides, don't do anything to help yourself, because if you do, you look weak. You look weak. Push to go to the doctor, then ridicule for going to the doctor. Black men need to support in being healthy and seeking wholeness. He is more than a provider. Start appreciating their presence. That's right. We need to start appreciating each other. Because I know we're talking about men, right? And I'm going to pose this last question because we're almost out of time. I know we've been talking about men, right? But black women need to be appreciated too for their experiences that they've experienced at the doctor. They too have been going through racism at the doctor's office. They've been going through racism in some forms of therapy because their therapist does not look like them. Their doctor, their OBGYN, their urologist, their pediatrics for their child does not look like them. But we as black men, when they tell us, because we're already socialized as black men, that going to the doctor is weak, we take what they tell us with a grain of salt. We can't relate because we don't go to the doctor as it is, right? That's the issue. You see the merry-go-round? You see why it's important to break the stigmatism on both sides of the coin, especially for black men? Because until, which I definitely hell no do not want to see, but unless those numbers of women offing themselves, unaliving themselves more than men or at an equal rate than men, I ain't trying to hear it. Black men need the support, ladies. We don't need the nagging support. We need the support coming from love, just like you need the support when you tell us what's going on with you. And if you want us to do more about what's going on with you when you have these instances at the doctor, the only way we could do more and we can relate more is if you encourage us to go and you go with us. Because we're scared. We're nervous. We have a perception that we need to keep. Even with you, the person that we claim to be in love with, married to, or dating, we have this perception. Which brings me to my last question, or my last statement. Breaking the overall fear, health is wealth. Health is wealth. Okay, I know I'm sitting here, I have a cigar, I'm drinking a little drink, okay? But there are people who do this every day, all day. Moderation. Okay, people? Moderation. You know, even eating fruit and eating vegetables overtly more than your body can process can kill you because of moderation. Okay? But health is wealth. And I want my black men out there to understand, and I'm not just speaking to you, because Lord knows just yesterday, my wife tried to get me to take a pill for my for my knee. And I was acting like she was trying to give me something that was going to kill me. And I know medicine because my mom was a doctor, right? I know medicine enough to know that what she was giving me, I should be fine, right? So, but again, that's stigmatism. I want my black men to know that it's okay to go get help. It's okay to go get mental help. It's okay to go get emotional help. It's okay to go get um, physical help at the doctor. You don't have to be afraid of the dentist. You don't have to be afraid of a therapist, a life coach, a spiritual advisor. It's okay to get help. Getting help is not a sign of weakness. Okay. Getting help is not a sign of weakness. Not doing anything about it is. Ladies, when you see us as black men, have compassion. Hey, black man, go to the doctor. Encourage your brothers or sisters to go to the doctor, or encourage your brothers if you have sisters, or if you're a woman, you have sisters or brothers, encourage them to go to the doctor. Encourage cousins to go to the doctor. Don't be afraid to talk about your mental health or your physical health with somebody you trust. See, we're afraid to even do that. We don't want to even let people know. And then people be like, oh, I didn't know you had cancer. We could have did this. No, I kept it inside because that's what I do. I internalized it. As black men, we'd say, why would you care? Right? I'm just a workhorse to you. I'm just supposed to go to work, make money, and provide. That's all I'm good for. Making babies, consummating, that's all I'm good for as a black man. But even if that's the case, ladies or black men, either or, if you're just here to provide and do all this mediocre work and then live and die, you still got to make sure everything is good and fit for you to do so. If you're not taking care of your health, if you're minimizing your pain, if you're minimizing your emotional trauma, your spiritual trauma, your mental trauma, if you're minimizing that, you're not taking care of yourself enough to be around, to be a provider. It's just like a car. You ever wonder why these old cars that these people have still run in really good condition? Because they took care of the insides. They made sure the outside was clean. They made sure the inside was clean to the best of their ability. They changed pipes. They cleaned pipes. They scrubbed this to get they did everything they needed to do for the inside of that car to run as immaculate as it did when it was bought in 1967 or 1980. Equate that, black man, with if you want to still work, longevity, get money long term, you need to be worrying about your mental health, your spiritual health, and your physical health, and you need to go get help. You need to speak to somebody. If it's emotional health, here you go. I'm right there, right? I specialize in helping black men. If you know somebody that needs the help and could use a mentor across any other 50 states, it's all video teleconference. Give me a call or go there, visit that website, all right, and go below. I even got some free books that you can download, free digital books. If you want, you can also go to the obsidianluxgroup.com, ladies. The obsidianluxgroup.com. It's just like you see it in the outro. And you can go get some free stuff for women. All right. Mental health is important. Black men's health is important. I know some of the procedures are invasive, but women go through the same thing. If women can go through and plop their breast on something, then men can go through and take 2 fingers just to check and see if they got prostate cancer or the signs of prostate cancer. Men can get a tube shoved down their throat or up the other side just to see if there's any polyps. You're going to be asleep anyway. I know because I can attest to it. So can Chief Hughes. I think Chief Hughes has it done regularly now. But be aware. Be mentally aware of your health. Don't be afraid of your health. Don't be afraid to take control of your health. Do something for yourself. Okay? Do something that empowers you, black man. Because with us killing ourselves at that rate, with us unaliving ourselves, I don't know if they're going to blot that out on YouTube, but, and then there's already more black women babies or black female babies ratio born than black men. I'm not trying to become a unicorn because I'm a black man. You imagine that in the future? Because you're not taking care of yourself and we're not reproducing and we're scared to go to the doctor. Now, all of a sudden, we're back to the times where in the past, there have been pictures and stuff like that when right before we got flea, that they would have exhibits for black people like we were in the zoo. And they would come look and point and go, oh, look at that black baby. Let's throw him to the alligators. Oh, look at that black child. Let's have a barbecue. That's where that word come from. Right now, fast forward, we barely have access to healthcare, right? We have disparities, socioeconomic issues, and then all of a sudden, we're not reproducing, and now we're back to the unicorn status of people looking at us like, "Oh, a black guy, I didn't know you existed." Right? All right. So we're gonna get on out of here. I know this was a tough, deep conversation, but I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your understanding, and I appreciate you showing up because we need to have these kind of conversations. These are the kind of conversations we need to have in the black community. Now, on this show, not all conversations will be that serious, but there will be accountability, right? There will be accountability. So, shout out to my people. Huntsville in the building. Jackson, Mississippi's in the building. Shout out to my siblings, Chief Hughes and Kat. Shout out Renata. Shout out to my beautiful, beautiful wife, April Up Sparks. Shout out to that Huntsville crew. Y'all give us a call next time on the show. Keep watching and sharing. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm out.
I'm going baseline, highlights. Can't slow me down, I'm too busy living my life. I put my face on the clock because it's my time. Rapper think he's seeing me, he better get his mind right. I'm going baseline, highlights. I got my grind right now, I got my shine right. I'm with my team and I'm feeling like it's my night. Better cuff your girl cause she looking like she my type. Okay, my fingers itching for that paper. Up before the sunrise, nigga, I can't wait on flavors. Go and hit my knees, say a prayer to my maker. Look up in the mirror, check, I'm sharp as a razor. I'm riding to my anthem, I just gotta get it. Them bucks on my mind, Monte